welcome to another episode of the Expressions Podcast. We have something a little bit different today. This is, in fact, going to be our last episode of Season 1. Yay! We've made it to the end of a season. This is so exciting.
It is pretty exciting.
That is exciting, yeah.
So it's just us today. I've got Bryan and Mark with me as well. So how are you doing, Bryan?
Awesome. I'm, Ryan is still one of our hosts, and he's working retail. He's a manager of a store now, so he's not able to show up all the time for these episodes, which is too bad. But he will be on season 2 for sure, and I'm stoked for season 2. We've got a lot of plans that we've talked about, stuff that we haven't talked about yet. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And you know what? It's almost Christmas, which is even more fun. And we're going to talk a lot about Christmas tonight. I know my wife is an elf. So when it comes to Christmas, decorations are already full. They're already done. The tree's up. The whole thing is done. I was not raised as much with Christmas. I've kind of Jewish background. But as I always say, I'm kind of Jewish because I haven't really celebrated since I lived with my mother when I was 17. But it's really cool doing the Christmas season. Plus working retail, which we all kind of do. It's all about Christmas. It's all about the holidays. Weird thing though, did you guys know that the 29th of November is the first day of Hanukkah?
I did not.
It's like super early this year. So
yeah, that's really early.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mark, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Getting ready for winter. Got the snowblower attachment onto the lawn tractor yesterday. Stacked 2 face cords worth of wood into the garage. So we're ready to have some late night movie nights by the fire. So that's pretty good. A little sore from all the manual labor, but it's good. It's good. We're ready, and Christmas is just around the corner by the time this airs, and I'm looking forward to it. It's actually going to be our first Christmas. It's our second Christmas in this house, but it'll be the first Christmas where it's just my wife and I. So it's going to be a little bit different. Going to be a little different.
Because now you're in Thunder Bay. Your parents are back here.
Yeah. Last year we had my mother-in-law come up for Christmas, which was cool. So we had that, and I did the big turkey, and Chris had to work Christmas Day because she's a nurse, and she'll be working again this Christmas Day. So I get to cook. She'll come home to a nice turkey dinner, I guess, and we'll see how that goes.
Nice. Now you say you were sore, but we know Aurora's not feeling great now.
No.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be able to stick it out tonight, you think?
Yeah, I should be okay. I'm earlier this week I was at work and I injured myself while unloading a delivery, and if you're carrying something, even if it's not too heavy, if it's an awkward shape or awkward length, which in this case it was 9 feet long, I would recommend just always make sure you're taking care of your posture, how your body's positioned, because I just turned the wrong way and completely threw out my back. So I've had a really weird week.
When you're carrying something that's like twice as tall as you are, I mean, it's going to be awkward.
Pretty much.
Those things are very awkward for sure.
Yeah. So my back's been pretty sore. I've had multiple visits to different kind of doctors this week, and it's been a tough one. But I'm okay. I'm still going. So I'm excited for the episode today, and I'm excited to see us, at the end of season 1. This is awesome. This
is a lot different for us this week. Usually we'll have a guest on, and we have all these notes, and we have all these things we're going to talk about. Tonight is a little different because we don't really have a guest. It's just us. We've done shows with just us, and that's not the whole point of tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about what it's like to work retail at Christmas a little bit. We're going to get into some of the things that we're going to talk about for season 2. And then we're going to do something we've talked about for a really long time. We're going to do a reaction video to some of the songs that have been recommended as their jams, the jams of some of our guests.
It's the minestrone episode, a little bit of everything.
The minestrone episode. Love it.
Little minestrone episode. Hashtag minestrone episode. Good soup.
Oh, now I'm hungry. Thanks. Okay, let's talk about Christmas in retail, because I know the three of us are all kind of wrapped up in it, and it's going to happen. And, obviously we're recording this a little before when this is going to air. But man, this is not like any other year I think we've ever experienced, ever.
No.
Like even last year, Boxing Day, we went to curbside on Boxing Day. And in a commission sales world like I'm in Aurora, you know, you're the manager of a store, so you're not doing the commission. But, you know, in this world where you have to sell things and then all of a sudden, done on the busiest day of the year, you can't open your doors. It was crazy last year. Hopefully that won't happen this year. But even with our stores open, stock is a problem.
Yeah.
How are you guys dealing in Woodbridge for stock, Aurora?
Yeah, we've had a bit of a tricky stock situation. I mean, not just Henry's, not just camera retail or electronics retail. Retail in general, we're running out of random stuff that you would never expect we would run out of. Like for a while, we had no backdrop paper, which was kind of crazy. It was something that we always had an abundance of. And then now we're having like shortages of a bunch of lenses. I've noticed more specifically, more current models of cameras. I mean, a brand that I haven't seen barely any stock of, Fuji.
Yes.
Like aside from their Instax cameras and XT4s, like little to no
Nothing.
Fuji across the board. So it's been quite an interesting thing. Even like big brands like that we sell a lot of, Sony, Canon, things like that, have had stock challenges. Sony's lens stock challenges, and a Canon as well, a lot of lens challenges. Bodies some, but I mean, it's pretty crazy.
It's funny, actually. I was talking to the Sony rep. Sorry to interrupt, but I was talking to the Sony rep, and he was saying how there's even products that they're not building anymore because there's just not enough margin. So their entire philosophy of how they build product is changing because of the COVID situation.
Yeah. And then
it's scary.
There's a lot of like I think a lot of brands are choosing to right now only produce their high sellers of certain items. Yeah. So there's a lot of like the, you know, miscellaneous parts and pieces, or not as popular models of things that usually they would have a decent amount of stock of, that they're not producing right now because they're putting all the priority towards the stuff that they sell the most of. So yeah, it's been difficult.
Yeah, and it's affecting.
Sorry, go ahead, Mark.
It's affecting all industries, every retail, from housing, cars, like obviously you're in a specialty retail situation with cameras, but electronics, TVs. We're seeing it where I work, and a lot of the gift giving items are coming in late. Or not at all. Some manufacturers just aren't able to fulfill because they either the factory's been shut down and they haven't been able to create, or there's been shipping problems where entire ports have been shut down and things are sitting in sea cans.
Yeah.
I've been sort of hoping for a new guitar to come along, and they've been making them, but I think they're all sitting in a seaport somewhere, and they're just not shipping them.
That's just what you need, another guitar.
Just one. I've only got a couple.
I'm sure people have seen the photo of all those ships that are stuck, waiting to dock and offload items. And I think it's like California or something like that. Like,
it's just crazy. It's just crazy how this has really affected everything globally. But more importantly, here at home, for the listeners and viewers, it's not anybody's fault that you're dealing with at the store. It's not like you guys have ordered your cameras, you've ordered your stock, you know what you normally would sell for DSLR bodies and mirrorless bodies, and every other retailer is the same. We've placed the orders, but the vendors and the manufacturers a lot of times can't fulfill. So if you're in a store and they're out of stock of something and they're not sure when it's going to come in, be kind, right? Because it's not the person behind the counter's fault that the DVD you were looking for, the camera, the gift item you were looking for is not in stock. That it's not that person's fault. We're all in this together. Just be kind, and even like servers and things like that. Be kind to those people, right? They're working under a lot of stress, and It's not everything is going to be their fault. I saw now there's a beef shortage. There's going to be a beef shortage. So, if like just crazy.
It's funny. COVID happens, then the murder hornets happen. Then like there's just one thing after another, after another, after another, after another. It is uncharted territory for sure. One of the things that really threw me off was something as simple as transmitters and receivers. Like in our world of photography, you have a flash transmitter and then you have a receiver to receive that signal to fire a flash off camera. And because of the chip shortages, those are gone, like discontinued, gone. Like we can't even order them. So, and even the things like envelopes, photo finishing envelopes, stuff like that. It's just,
I think those were one of those things that was stuck on a boat in those ports. So like, I was for part of the managers meeting, there was a call just this past week, just kind of giving us an update on Make the Holiday and all sorts of product availability and stuff like that. And one of the things that they said was there's a boat that caught fire and a lot of stuff on that boat got damaged, and a big chunk of our some of our products, I won't say the brand name because I don't want to mess anything up with that, were on that boat. Luckily, we've heard that our product did not get damaged in that, but it's in holding for insurance claim and all the things like that. They have to go through like these legal steps to get our gear when something like that happens, right? Even if something hasn't taken damage, right?
That's crazy.
So,
things you don't even think about.
Yeah, definitely. But exactly. It's going to be an interesting year for retail, I think, because there's a lot of things that were closed. Last year, like we're all in curbside pickup. It was a very slow year. People still came to buy things, but now I think people are just happy to be able to get together with people. A lot of people are fully vaccinated. I feel like this Christmas is going to be big, but if we don't have the right amount of stock for certain things, which is something that's completely out of our control at this point, we have to get creative with finding different solutions for customers and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think that's a really good point. Be open to alternative gift ideas for somebody. Even if I know in my family, I'm always like, oh, get me a Henry's gift card, because that's sort of my go-to, right? I'd collect them up and then come in and see Bryan for a new camera. But, and I know in my family, they're like, oh, geez, I want something for you to open. I'm like, yeah, but that's what makes me happy. Now, some people are resistant to that gift card, but
I love the gift card idea. I really do.
It's the right size, the right megapixels, it's the right focal length. And
as picky people, as artists, as picky people, it's always the wrong thing we get. Like there's always good intention, but it's always the wrong thing. So to have the ability to just go in and pick and choose what you want, I think is huge.
Oh, exactly. Exactly. So, but no, it's think about the alternative gift, or even if it's not, if it's not a gift card, maybe it's an accessory that you can buy or something like that. And gift receipts are a great thing as well, just in case. Yeah, it's going to be another interesting one, and hopefully, I got all my fingers crossed that 2022 sort of normalizes again, and we see this thing sort of behind us.
It was really nice at the end of this year, the past 2 months, I should say, for myself, having the ability to actually run my workshops again. So now it was weird though, because I actually still had a session or two that I just didn't have enough people for, and I was pretty surprised for that, because everybody was chomping at the bit throughout the entire year to do these things, and then of course the availability happens and life takes over, right?
Yeah.
Well, if I was closer, I'd have been at a couple of those ones. So I can't tell you how green with jealousy my face was when you were doing on your your Nights of Fire with steel wool spinning and all that. The pictures I saw
workshop was great.
really, really wish I could have been there, but it's a heck of a drive for a couple hour workshop. So
Yeah, a 16-hour drive just for a 3-hour workshop.
I can do it in 15, 20. You know, I'm good.
Don't brag about that.
Yeah. I shorten the bio breaks is what I do. I just in and out.
Oh, bio break. That's a new thing.
Yeah.
I like that. Now we have a lot of stuff coming up for ourselves in retail. This is going to be crazy time for us. So we're taking a break over the holidays. This show is going to be ending season 1 at episode 35, which is this show 35.
35.
So this will be
age.
the final.
Remember
I've always
how old
wanted
I
to
am.
have a show where I had seasons. I've always wanted a show where I had seasons. I did a TV show where I had, 3 different runs of new episodes, but it wasn't seasons, so it didn't really feel that cool. I don't know why.
Yeah.
The seasons sound fun to me, so I'm looking forward to it. Season
I
2.
like season 2.
And when we get into season 2, we're going to be trying different things. We're going to be talking to different people. We've already got the first guest lined up for season 2, episode 1, and it's going to be fun. I can promise you that.
Yes.
People that
I like
we all
fun.
know. Yes. And I'm also thinking that maybe we'll have some recurring guests. Maybe some people that we've had on this season will get back on just to see what they're up to and see any updates on that. Is there anything you guys really haven't talked about to me yet that you think that we should do for season 2?
Just no clowns. I'm good with no clowns.
All right, that's good. No clowns. But clowns are
unless we can
creative
get-
too.
Unless we can get Stephen King on the show and he can talk about Pennywise, then I'm okay with the clown. Just none sneaking up behind me here in the window. I'd be.
Oh, could you imagine?
Yeah, if I'm sitting here and I see a clown in that window, I'm going that way.
Mark disappears. We know what's up.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of research on getting information for a bunch of TikTok creators. I have a bunch of this contact information, so I'm definitely going to go through a lot of that and see what I can pull. Like the other day, I shared in our group chat for the Expressions of Podcast hosts, a creative dog groomer.
That was pretty cool.
And there's a guest that has agreed to be on our show, but we need a translator for. Right now could be the time I ask, any of our listeners, if you know German, if you can speak German fluently, we'd love to have you on as a translator for this. Just let us know. Send us an email to expressionsofpodcast@gmail.com because I have a guest lineup, which would be pretty fun, but we need a translator for it. Going really international with this one.
I only know one German word, and I probably should. Well, no, this is the kind of show. Scheiße. That's the only word I know.
Well,
I'm allowed to say
I've got one for Shelley. Tannenbaum is
Oh,
Christmas tree.
Yes,
Christmas
I've
tree.
heard that one.
There you go.
Yeah, and Schnittlauch is chives. Yeah, I don't know. I know these weird words. Käse.
Schwartz, black.
Schwartz. I'm not. Is that really is that a German word?
Yeah,
I think it's a made up word.
No,
Käse
it's a
is
thing.
cheese. Käse is cheese. I know that.
We're gonna have comments.
No,
Like, people are gonna
yeah.
watch this episode and be like, "Why are you guys even trying right now?
Why are you even mispronouncing this stuff? You're bastardizing the language.
I'm not even going to attempt saying any German words. I will say I've been to Germany, which is kind of interesting.
It's beautiful. I've been a couple of times. Yeah.
Yeah, more
wow.
specifically, I've just been to Berlin.
Okay.
But yeah, very beautiful. I
Very
saw
beautiful.
the Helmut Newton Museum, which is a pretty famous photographer, fashion photographer.
Yep.
He does those really
Okay,
colorful pictures of the women with the really long legs in different angles and stuff. He had his collection of there was a collection of cameras and lots of his prints, which was cool to see. I saw one of my favorite things that I saw was the Holocaust Memorial.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be rough.
Yeah. It was very interesting, like it being there, very somber kind of environment, but a beautiful, very beautiful. I don't know what to explain how it looks. There's these like long, tall columns of different sizes, and then in it there is like a more memorial spot. But very beautiful. And yeah,
it's crazy that you can say it's beautiful with all the atrocities that happened. You know, that they were able to have changed the
I don't actually
perception or aura of the place. I don't know. Like I've got family members who survived Auschwitz, and the stories that I've heard are pretty crazy. Like one of my uncles apparently was a cook, and they were walking all the Jewish people in a line from one place to another outside, and he saw somebody cooling a ham in the window, and he stole the ham. He broke away from the line, stole the ham, and brought it back to his quarters that night and was feeding all the people the ham that he took. Weird little stories about survival, and then they can years later open this up for people to appreciate, which is crazy.
Yeah, I think here I'll show you kind of Memorial Berlin, because it's in Berlin. It's not exactly where it is.
It's not Auschwitz per se, right?
No. It looks like. Do you see this here?
I see nothing.
You see
I'm
nothing.
Like Hogan's Heroes. I know nothing. Since we're talking about Germany, no, nothing. Okay. Oh, here it is.
Yeah, it's like this, like these columns in
weird.
Different sizes.
Man severely injured off of falling off of the memorial.
That's interesting. I'm guessing that people shouldn't be walking on the memorial.
No,
they should walk through it, not on it. Yeah.
But you can see like it's all different sizes and heights and stuff like that, and it's just a very silent environment like to be in, obviously, because everybody's mourning. But
was that supposed to represent coffins or something?
I'm actually not 100%. It's been a long time since I've gone, so here, I'll stop the screen share. But yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know how we got on this topic, but
well, we're talking about travel in Germany.
Travel in Germany. But
absolutely.
But yeah.
Perfect. But no, it's that's another thing. This is all messed up is travel, right? There are so many people that love to travel, and I mean, obviously, Ryan just went on the Chris Jericho cruise, but it is an ordeal. I mean, to go into the States right now, and you need PCR tests, and I think Ryan had 3 PCR tests, and they're not cheap to get in a drugstore in the States. So it's interesting. You really have to be committed to it. But once we get I don't know what's going to have to happen to open things up again so that we won't have to be tested to cross borders and things like that. But
I wonder if that's a lifetime thing now.
Yeah.
I hope not.
My mother just visited from Florida. I got to see my mother, which was great.
Oh, that's nice.
And of course, she had to go through all the testing when she came here. And then she had to get a test before she went back home. She loved it. She actually said she had no problem with the travel because she doesn't need one, but she was sitting in a wheelchair and they just basically grabbed her and pushed her around. And she said she had a great time. So she didn't mind the travel so much. I guess
little Cadillac to ride around in. And
just get your own little Cadillac and you're good to go when you travel.
Perfect.
So.
Awesome.
Broken leg. That's my hint.
Yeah.
What do I know? I don't travel.
Yeah.
If I want to go anywhere, it's going to be in Canada. So that's just my bad.
There you go. I heard Thunder Bay's nice. You should visit there.
Yes, there's some sort of magnet that's pulling me that way.
Yeah. Perfect.
Well, guys, so go ahead, Aurora.
Yeah, I mean, living in Canada, we're very fortunate because we have so many different places that we can go to just by driving to visit in Ontario and different provinces. The East Coast is beautiful. West Coast is beautiful. So amazing.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I work with, Steve Aurora. He was saying that he wants to save his traveling in Canada for when he's older, and he wants to travel outside of Canada when he's younger. And I'm just thinking, I mean, not younger anymore, but at the same time, I think, this is, it's got everything. Canada has literally everything from deserts to rainforests to, swamps to
mountains,
geysers to mountains to, I mean, you name it,
lakes,
prairies,
oceans, rivers,
deserts,
prairies,
I mean, everything.
You name it.
Yeah,
we've got it.
It's true.
That's it. Come to Canada. Hashtag visit Canada.
We've got gold, we've got oil, we've got gas.
Yeah. And there's
McDonald's, so we get lots of gas. I mean, there's so many different things that we have. So I don't know why anybody would have to travel outside of Canada other than, I don't know why. Why?
Well, I mean, there is a lot of beautiful things to see outside of Canada. I love travel. I love travel in general. But yeah, so, I mean, some of my best vacations have been in Canada. But a lot of my best vacations have been outside of Canada as well. The Caribbean, Europe, going to, down through the States as well. I've had some fantastic vacations,
Well, maybe one day I'll venture outside of Canada. Who knows?
Absolutely.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Literally.
For sure.
All right, guys. One last question before we move on to this thing that we've never done before. What are you looking forward to most about the holiday season this year? Aurora, why don't you go first?
That's a really good question. What am I looking forward to most about this holiday season? I'm looking forward, getting back to a little bit closer to a normal, because I'm fully vaccinated. Most of the people in my life are fully vaccinated, so I feel more comfortable, visiting people, because I know that they're being responsible and that kind of thing. So I'm excited. Things are, after all this, anxiety and stress revolving around COVID, being able to just get a little bit closer back to a normal. The holidays for me, it really doesn't feel like it starts until after my birthday, which is December 20th. So
making a mental note there.
Yeah.
I'm making a literal note.
I don't know what it is, because when I was growing up, it's both me and my sibling Jace, who were born on the same day, 5 years apart. And my mom and my mom and dad made a point of making it seem very separate from Christmas, because a lot of the time, things like birthday parties and presents and stuff like that kind of got jumbled in with Christmas. And for a lot of people, it kind of got washed over, glossed over type of thing. Especially as a kid, birthday parties. No one's gonna go to a birthday party in December, right before Christmas.
Right.
So because Christmas holidays and stuff like that. So my parents were very at home, making sure it was separate. A day or two later, that's when we set up the Christmas tree. That's when we do the decorations and stuff like that. And I've just kept to that, because that's, just the way I am. And in retail, it's the complete opposite.
Well,
right after Halloween, it's Christmas right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in my house too. I mean, retail's one thing, but maybe to an elf,
yeah.
First opportunity possible, the tree goes up. So
yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to things getting back to closer to a normal. Not quite normal. Yeah.
How about you, Mark?
You?
Me?
Well,
no, Mark can go first.
We'll get Mark to go first.
Yeah. You're muted.
All right. Yeah. Sorry. My wife had asked me a question. So yeah, I think what I'm looking forward to the most is actually maybe getting to go to a holiday party like Aurora. I'm not sure. I don't, because I've not really made friends because of COVID in Thunder Bay. All my friends live in Southern Ontario, but I know my wife has made some friends through work. So, if any of you are watching, feel free to invite us to a holiday party.
Invite us.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll throw that out there. I'll fish for an invite, but no, possibly that. But I'm also looking forward to. I love decorations. I love seeing people's houses decorated for the holidays. Next weekend coming up, obviously by the time this airs, they'll be up, but we're going to get the decorations up in our house. I'll get the outside lights lit and things like that. So I'm looking forward to that. I love the look of a decorated house, and it's a nice time of year, and like I say, nice fire in the fireplace and maybe a cup of Christmas cheer, and
perfect.
Just being able to spend time at home with the family.
Sounds like good times. Something to look forward to. I'm looking forward to watching Christmas Vacation. And I'm also looking forward to the Nikon Z9 coming out, because that should be sometime over the holiday season at some point. So that's exciting for me.
Expected delivery sometime in December. So that's nice.
Other than that, I'm just stoked every year for Christmas. I mean, I joke about it. I say Shelly's an elf. She literally is an elf. Like, Shelly knows Santa as far as I'm concerned. So she just gets so excited and loves this season so much. Just seeing her joy makes me happy. So I always look forward to Christmas, because Shelly just lights up and the whole house lights up, and you can't go wrong. So that's my thing I'm looking forward to.
Excellent.
All right, well, that's it for us tonight. I know we have to get going. So Mark, Aurora, thanks for doing this. This has been an interesting little show. And as our 35th episode, we want to thank everybody for watching us on season 1. It's been a lot of fun for us. We've learned a lot about each other. We've learned a lot about ourselves, I think. And learned a lot in general. There's been a lot of cool things that we've talked about.
We've talked to a lot of really cool people.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. Anything you guys want to say goodbye before we say goodbye?
I just want to say again, please subscribe to our channel, like our video, write us a comment, even send us an email. Follow us on
if you
Spotify,
are a good German
and share.
Share, like and share.
And share with other people that you might think like this as well. So
absolutely. And since this is airing right before Christmas, everyone, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate, just enjoy the season, and we'll see you in 2022.
Be safe, everybody.
Season 2.
Take care of everybody. Take care of each other, and we'll see you in season 2. Bye.